Hi guys. Just want to show off my new shirt. So I have a book haul for you today. I've got quite a few books and this includes a package at the end. So we'll go ahead and open that at the end. So first off, the first book I picked up was Sherlock Holmes' book. Having just finished off Sherlocktober, I was in the mood when I spotted this. I don't know, book I read quite some time ago. This is the 7% Solution. And it was apparently a reprint of The Reminiscences of John H. Watson, M.D., edited by Nicholas Meyer. I love the back. It says, Sherlock Holmes and Sigmund Freud together again for the first time. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, it's basically dealing with Sherlock Holmes's addiction to cocaine, a 7% solution, and his kind of encounters with Sigmund Freud to kind of help him break the addiction. There's also encounters with Professor Moriarty, and I think there was also Mycroft Holmes might also make an appearance in this, but I read this quite so long ago, I don't remember all the details. They had also made a motion picture out of this, and I remember seeing that quite some time ago too. I might try and see if I can track that down, but I probably won't be picking this one up till maybe next year, in case we're doing readings along that way for Sherlocktober 2019. We'll see, but I probably won't get till then. Next up, I picked up some books by Daphne du Maurier as part of the du Maurier project on Goodreads. And this month we're going to be reading Come Wind, Come Weather. It's a thin little novello. You can see this one sold for 25 cents. It was published in 1941. And it's true stories of Britain's gallantry on Britain's home front. And it works out perfectly since it's technically nonfiction November, and I should be reading something at least nonfiction. And she wrote this kind of to bolster the spirit of the British public. And I just want to read this little synopsis of it. I just read this part here. It says, I believe that the old English spirit is not dead. It still lurks in the hearts and minds of every man and woman in this island. But centuries of soft living and thinking only in the first person singular have made the spirit a shadow of its former self, and the door which hides it is not always easy to unlock. The present danger has come upon us as a challenge, meaning the oncoming war. Are we going to discover once again the old fundamental values, truth, honesty, selfishness, and learn to give instead of the inevitable to get? These are the only qualities that will give us courage and help us to endure. So that's basically what these stories are, like stories of bravery and things on the home front. Like I said, it's a quick little thing, which is good because for Nonfiction November, at least I have something under my belt while I'm reading Moby Dick for the read-along on Steve Donahue's channel. That's going to take up a big chunk of my reading time. But yeah, I was happy to be able to track this one down. In addition to that, I came across a copy of Frenchmans Creek by du Maurier. It's described as one of her truly romantic type novels. I don't really know much about it. I'm just going to go ahead and read the back here for you. It says, jaded by the numbing politeness of Restoration London, Lady Donna St. Column revolts against high society. She rides into the countryside, guided only by her restlessness and her longing to escape. But when chance leads her to meet a French pirate hidden within Cornwall's shadowy forests, Donna discovers that her passions and thirst for adventure have never been more aroused. Together they embark upon a quest rife with danger and glory, one which bestows upon Donna the ultimate choice, sacrifice her lover to certain death or risk her own life to save him. So that sounds really good, and I absolutely love this cover. I love anything kind of on the sea. It seems like I'm really drawn to that lately. So whenever we get to that one, because we're reading one a month on the du Maurier project, kind of in order of publication, so I'm not sure exactly when that one will show up. And I also came across this one, The House on the Strand. And let's see if it gives a description of this one. Yeah. It says, set in the wilds near Cornwall's sea-tossed coastline, The House on the Strand concerns a young man's experiments with hallucinogenic drugs and his travels back and forth in time to the mysteries of the 14th century England. That sounds fascinating. Gradually growing more involved in the lives and emotions of the early Cornish manor lords and ladies, he finds his own life pale in comparison, and the presence of his American wife and stepson a hindrance to his newfound existence. This ancient, modern, Gothic tale will grip the reader until the last surprising twist in du Maurier's intricately woven plot of today and yesterday. So that sounds really, really cool. And there she is. Book that is in front of her. Vanishing Cornwall. She has a book on Vanishing Cornwall there in front of her. So that's all the du Maurier books I picked up this time. I also came across this one, and for some reason I think I've read this title somewhere before, not read the book. I hope I don't already own a copy buried somewhere in the house that I'm not aware of, but this is the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket by Edgar Allan Poe. And again, wonderful Penguin Classic cover. You know, I have his complete ghost stories and all that, and poems, but maybe it's just the story within that book, the Barnes & Noble leatherbound classic. But again, mutiny, shipwreck, and famine, butchery, discovery, and calamity. Oh, another seafaring book. It's set in 1897. The narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket is an exciting blend of romantic adventure and with realistic detail. The young hero Pym, aided and abetted by Augustus, the captain's son, becomes a stowaway on board the American brig Grampus. The friendship and friction between these two characters form a major part of the work's aesthetic design. Edgar Allan Poe controls the narrative with a system of structural contrast and symmetry, as well as through a set of intriguing textual hieroglyphics. By offsetting the stormy nature of the plot in this way, he creates an extraordinary, potent, and exhilarating atmosphere. Yeah, it says this edition includes Jules Verne's ingenious sequel. So I guess there's a sequel to it back in here. I'm not really certain. But yeah, anyway, another Edgar Allan Poe book. And then just recently for Victober, I had read Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. And while I was shopping at a used bookstore, I came across one of his books called Uncle Silas. This cover is creepy looking. Yeah, I hadn't even heard this one before, but it says a world of spirits, a locked cabinet, an abduction, past secrets that spill into the present, combined to make Uncle Silas Le Fanu's most celebrated novel of sensation. Okay. From the moment that Madame de la Rogère is hired as governess to the young, naive Maud Ruthin, a dark cloud of foreboding hangs over the entire household. A liar, a bully, and a spy, Madame eventually leaves, taking her dark secret with her. But unhappily for Maud, that is not the last of Maud de la Rogère. For when Maud is orphaned, she is sent to live with her Uncle Silas, her father's mysterious brother, a man with a scandalous, even murderous past. Here she encounters Madame once more. This time, her sinister role in Maud's destiny is all too clear. It says, with its subversion of reality and illusion, and its depiction of the filthy layers of Maud's passion and fears, Uncle Silas goes beyond the bounds of the conventional horror story to become a chilling psychological thriller. So, sounds good. Like I said, creepy cover drew me in. And then this one, when I was shopping at a used bookstore, I saw like this much of the cover, because it was way up on the top shelf. I had to go get a step stool. I was curious. Okay, I could tell it's a Penguin Classic, but what's with the white silhouettes of a gun and a key, and I like the look of the house? So I pulled it down, and this is the title. This is Anna Catherine Green, The Leavenworth Case. I'm like, okay, sounds cool. It's the classic genre-defying whodunit by the mother of the detective novel. So it says, Anne Catherine Green's bestseller, The Leavenworth Case, was the first mystery of its kind, introducing the first American series detective, Ebenezer Gryce. It was published 9 years before the debut of Sherlock Holmes, making Green an enormously popular and influential writer who changed the mystery genre forever. So how come I've never heard of this author before in my life? Anybody else heard of her? I had not. Showcasing Green's distinctive verve and style, The Leavenworth Case opens with the shocking murder of Horatio Leavenworth, a wealthy New York merchant, philanthropist, and well-known member of the community. His favorite niece, Mary, is to inherit his fortune, and all of the evidence seems to implicate her or her sister. Yet surprises greet Gryce at every turn, even before the second murder. Okay, it says about further reading and stuff like that. So, first American series detective. I'd never come across that phrase anywhere before, and written 9 years before Sherlock Holmes. So, yeah, I was all on board when I read that. It's like, mine, keep it down off the top shelf. So, other than that, the next I have is this package. So we're going to go ahead and rip it open and see what I ordered, because I can't quite remember. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I've got 3 books within here. The first 2 are manga. Again, I was in a horror theme, because it was October when I ordered these. This is by Junji Ito, the pretty much father of manga horror. This is Fragments of Horror, and I love that that cover. Isn't that awesome? Very creepy. And I think this is a collection of short stories. Oh yeah, his illustrations are definitely creepy. Well, let's see what this has in it. Futon. Futon's the first story. There's the futon. Wooden Spirit. Tomio. Red Turtleneck. Gentle Goodbye. Dissection Chan. Blackbird. Magami Nanakuzi. Whispering Woman. And then the afterword. An old wooden mansion that turns on its inhabitants. The dissection class with a most unusual subject. A funeral where the dead are definitely not laid to rest. Ranging from the terrifying to the comedic, from the erotic to the loathsome, these stories showcase Junji Ito's long-awaited return to the world of horror. Yeah, I definitely recommend this mangaka. He's very creepy. And in addition to that, I got one that he did, an adaptation of Frankenstein. When I heard that, Junji Ito meets Mary Shelley, I had to track it down. Oh yeah, that looks pretty creepy. I'll give you this one quick page here. That's pretty gruesome. Yeah, I highly recommend them if you're into horror and manga, and I can't wait to check this one out. That just sounds like a really cool to have an adaptation in a manga format like that. And the last one's actually nonfiction, which we'll see with having to read this tome. I don't know that I'll get to another nonfiction book, but I wanted to track this one down when I heard this was coming out, and I was hoping to possibly read it this month. We'll see. But it is a biography on Bruce Lee. This is Bruce Lee, A Life by Matthew Polly. My interest in martial arts is enormous, goes way, way back. And I used to own all of his movies. I watched them religiously. Him and Jackie Chan. I had almost all the Jackie Chan videos on video cassette, which I've since had to get rid of since I can't really play video cassettes too well anymore. But I heard this was a really good biography. Steve Donahue raved about it on his channel, and I am really excited to get into it. So, better than I love that. Look at that. That's amazing. And there's lots of photos within it as well, and I am super excited to get this. I had read all of his books and everything I thought written about him, so yeah, I'm definitely can't wait to get this. I really hope I can get to it this month, but we'll see. So anyway, that is my wrap up. So I'm going to do show you all the books I got. We'll try to do the Steve Donahue Pyramid. We got Bruce Lee. We've got Frankenstein, adaptation in manga format by Junji Ito. Also, Fragments of Horror. An American Detective in the Leavenworth Case. Psychological thriller, Uncle Silas by Lefanu. Kind of a seafaring novel by Edgar Allan Poe. And 3 books by Daphne du Maurier. Whoa, one more. The 7% Solution. Kind of a look into Sherlock Holmes' cocaine addiction. So that's my book haul. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.